Hello, and welcome to Part 2 of the new member orientation for Williamson County Realtors, MLS 101. In MLS 101, the members of Williamson County Realtors will be introduced to the multiple listing system as a whole and specific to Central Texas Multiple Listing Service, or CTX MLS. The intent is to help you understand what tools are available in your toolbox. As we begin, let's first gain an understanding of just what an MLS is. The Multiple Listing Service, or MLS, is a facility that allows real estate professionals to learn about and share local property listings in support of the interests of clients and customers. We think about the MLS in terms of the digital market, but it's important to know that the MLS is over 100 years old. It was started by realtors who wanted a way to communicate better with both clients and other practitioners. From papers to telegrams, to books, to discs and kiosks, to its current presence in the virtual world, it has certainly evolved. Along the way, accurate information has always been the key. The MLS helps to establish and maintain an orderly marketplace where all information is located and where there is price competition. Included in the information shared are two critical concepts that the MLS is based on. Those are cooperation and compensation. Cooperation is the ability of participants and subscribers to mutually share information. Cooperation can be viewed as the promise to work together, written out in detail. It is a core spirit of who we are as realtors. Compensation is the offer of payment for services to participants, subscribers, and non-participants. The MLS provides agents on both sides information about compensation offered to the other agents by the seller of a property. It's important to know that there is no set compensation rate or percentage mandated by the MLS. Each listing displays just how much compensation is being offered on each and every individual property. It is equally as important for realtors to know what an MLS is not. An MLS is not an association. It can be a committee of an association or even an entity owned by the association, but it is not the association. It is rather a service that realtor members have access to. Likewise, it is important to know that the MLS is not the same as many of the websites you or your clients and customers find on the internet. Places like Trulia, Realtor.com, Zillow, and many other sites are actually third-party aggregators from data feeds. At Williamson County Realtors, we believe the MLS will continue to evolve and we will see a blurring of those lines. We will even see major sites start their own brokerages as means of competition. However, at the core, it is important to know that public sites are not the MLS, rather they are feeds. And as a real estate professional, you should also know that an MLS is not geographically isolated. Almost all MLSs in the country overlap different geographic areas. As populations continue to grow, this will continue to happen. Some MLSs may overlap with only one other system, while others will overlap with multiple MLS systems. We know that many agents struggle with this on multiple levels. However, it is important to remember that, at the core, an MLS is a service. There was a time when members had to belong to every association that covered a geographical area. Today, you as a member have board of choice. This means that, as a realtor, you can belong to one association like Williamson County Realtors and receive services from any association. You can belong to as many MLS systems that your broker is part of without having to join multiple associations. Here is how it looks. You partner with a broker and you join a local association. When you join that association, you also join the Texas Realtors and the National Association of Realtors. You then begin to add services to your membership. Those could include things like education, or committee service, or designation, or e-keys, and the MLS. In this case, let's say that you choose CTX MLS because your primary practice is here in Williamson County. What you will soon find is that in Williamson County, there are overlapping MLS systems. The two primary systems are the Central Texas Multiple Listing Service and Actress. However, to small degrees, you may also find that HAR, Highland Lakes, Waco, and Netris also have a few properties here and there. Which MLS or MLSs you belong to is a business choice. It's a choice between you and your broker. You may be asking yourself, why would a realtor subscribe to more than one MLS? There are numerous reasons. Here are just a few. First is the ability to demonstrate market expertise. Different MLS have different data. Remember, MLSs overlap. By increasing your subscriptions, you increase access to data. This helps to both provide accurate information to your clients and to demonstrate your competence. Second, buyers often find properties on sites such as Zillow or Trulia and Realtor.com. Those sites populate from nearly every MLS in the country. You want to have access to the homes that your clients find so that you can get them the information that they truly desire. Likewise, the ability to access all properties in a market is imperative. E-key operations are specific to MLS subscriptions. Without multiple MLSs, you may just be locked out of that home that your client wants to see. And the ability to protect the commission you earn. Remember, commission is offered through specific MLS systems for each property at different amounts. If you are not a member of the MLS a property is listed in, there may not be buyer's agency commission available on the property that your clients want. Multiple subscriptions are an inexpensive way of building and protecting your business. Williamson County Realtors promotes, supports, and offers CTX MLS. We do so because we believe that the regional approach to service offers the best value to members. CTX MLS is a true regional MLS. It is overseen by 5 associations so that you, the member, have the maximum ability to make prudent and practical decisions. After all, the decision of how you practice real estate should be made between you and your broker. With that in mind, let's take a minute to help you find some resources. Agents, new or seasoned, have questions about the different aspects of the MLS. Here are 3 primary areas that you can learn about using this tool. At Wcrealtors.org, you will find 2 of those primary aids. The first is a general video library. In this section, you can find a number of resources about MLS, Supra, and other tools. There is also a dedicated CTX MLS video library designed to get you started. When you visit ctxmls.com, you will find the Learning Center located at the top center of the page. Once you click on that Learning Center tab, a drop-down menu will appear. On it are links to Matrix, Property Panorama, Realist Training Videos, RPR, Showing Time, CTX videos, and ZipLogic. All of these are different tools that you have at your disposal by being a participant or subscriber to the CTX MLS. And make sure you visit RPR and familiarize yourself with the tools available to you, including the ability to bring multiple listing services into one place for building the most comprehensive CMAs on the market. In this final section, we are going to learn about the importance of rules. Rules exist to protect the integrity of the data that is in the MLS. As we already mentioned, the MLS helps establish and maintain an orderly marketplace. The benchmark for that comes from RESO, the Real Estate Standards Organization, of which CTX MLS is a Platinum Certified member. To better help you understand the rules and regulations, you can always find a copy of them at ctxmls.com/ctxmls-rules-regulations. So, to help you establish best practices, let's look at some of the most commonly violated offenses of the rules and regulations. Minor offenses come with 2 written notices to correct them and then a $100 automatic fine. The first of those is Rule Section 1.4, 1.7, and 2.5, which deals with late reporting of changes to include, but not limited to, price, updating the status of a listing, or the sale. You have a certain time frame to make changes to your listing, and those time frames are critically important to protecting the integrity of the data in the MLS. The next rule is Rule 1.8 that states seller's name is a mandatory field. The most common infraction of this is something to the effect of see agent or see tax records. This field exists to help, in part, assure that you have the legal right to list the property and that the person you have listed with is the legal owner of the property. Rule 1.19 states that the agent must give turn-by-turn instructions in a descriptive nature. The most common infraction of this is something to the effect of see GPS. It's important for people to be able to find the property that you have listed, and in many areas they do not populate on GPS. This is especially true in new construction and inside of rural areas. The best practice is to find the major intersection closest to the property and write out instructions from that place. Another common minor infraction is a violation of Rule 1.2 and 4.9, failure to review the listing before making it active. This has to do with incomplete or incorrect data in mandatory fields. The best practice is to use the data checker prior to establishing your active listing. Regardless, though, it is imperative that you, the listing agent, make sure that all of the data in the listing is accurate. After all, the MLS exists to provide accurate information in an orderly marketplace, and this is your responsibility. And one of the most common areas of inaccurate data has to do with mapping issues, specifically the map pin not being on the actual property. It's imperative that you, as the real estate listing agent, make sure that the property on the map is the actual property that you've listed. Now, this can be corrected in a number of ways, including dragging the pin to the center of the property or typing in the correct GPS coordinates into the latitude and longitude blocks. If you have questions about this specifically, make sure you contact CTX MLS. They will help you get it established prior to you getting notice of a minor offense. We move from minor offenses to serious offenses, with the major difference being that serious offenses have no warning, rather an automatic $100 fine. This is because serious offenses are often those that time is of the essence in correcting. The most common violation or serious offense is Rule 1.1.1, which deals with a duplicate listing. You as an agent must ensure that the property you are trying to list does not already have another MLS number assigned to it. In other words, that it is not a duplicate listing. This happens usually in one of two ways. Either the listing has been managed by another agent, or some type of error has been created, and instead of fixing that error, an agent tries to create a new listing. Duplicate errors are serious offenses. Also found in Rule 1.1.1 is the language that says only CTX MLS participants and subscribers may have their information allowed in a listing. This rule is often violated in co-listing situations where one realtor is a member of CTX MLS and the other is not. In these situations, it's imperative that the listing agent ensure that only CTX MLS participants and subscribers have their information shown inside of the MLS. Another serious offense is a violation of Rule 1.16 or failure to comply with the photo policy. That policy says, in part, that each property must have at least one photographed. Digital images and photo description text cannot contain information such as watermarks or other MLS copyright branding, or information that brands the listing to a specific agent or office, like a sign in the yard. This includes contact information such as names, phone numbers, email addresses, or website address, including the use of embedded or overlaid and digitally stamped information. Also, images previously submitted by a participant may not be used by other participants on subsequent listings without written permission by the owner of the photo. Another serious offense is Rule 4.8, putting title company information in places other than title company area. In the rules of CTX MLS, the title company is considered to be confidential information and therefore is not syndicated. It's not intended to be publicly displayed, as the utilization of a title company is a negotiable item in a contract. So make sure that the title company information only goes in the line for the title company. Finally, we're going to talk about egregious offenses, or the absolute worst offenses that a participant or subscriber can commit. These come with automatic $1,000 fines because they are paramount to cure. The first egregious offense is failing to provide the listing agreement within 2 business days from the time it is requested by CTX MLS. Rule 1.17, or the retention of listing agreement, states that participants shall retain in the participant's office copies of listing contracts, extensions of listing contracts, price changes, and other material changes of listing contracts that are authorized by the seller, and upon request, will furnish those copies to the Central Texas MLS within 2 business days. If CTX MLS requests a copy of any of these agreements, it is the participant's responsibility to provide them within 2 days or be subject to an automatic fine of $1,000. The most common egregious offense we find is a violation of Section 4.6, which has limitations on password use. That rule says participants, subscribers, and authorized affiliates of participants that utilize the MLS system shall not furnish, disclose, or permit the use of their MLS passwords and/or their MLS access codes to any person, firm, company, or other entity. It actually goes on to say that the fact that the participant or subscriber did not grant consent to use the password shall not be a defense. What this means is that if your password or login information is utilized by anybody other than yourself to log into the MLS system, you are in violation of Rule 4.6. This violation comes with an automatic $1,000 fine. So the best practice is to always make sure you secure your password, you do not share your login and password information with anybody else, and that on a regular basis you change your password to ensure its security. The final egregious offense we're going to deal with today is a violation of Rule 10.1. That is, failure to correct violations after 10 days from the initial fine. CTX MLS strives to maintain an orderly marketplace, to facilitate cooperation and compensation between agents. To do so, we need participants and subscribers to help make sure that all of the data is accurate inside of the system. We give ample opportunity for participants and subscribers to cure problems based on the severity of those issues. However, if a participant or subscriber chooses not to do so, Rule 10.1 comes into effect. It is subject to a $1,000 automatic fine if in 10 days a participant and subscriber does not cure a violation. Thank you for completing MLS 101 and the new member orientation course here at WC Realtors. At Williamson County Realtors, our job is to help you unlock the world of real estate. That is, to make sense of this very dynamic and very fluid industry that we work in. When we can be of support to you, please feel welcome to contact us. You can call 512-255-6211 or send an email to support@wcrealtors.org. We're here to serve you, and we appreciate your membership. If you're practicing real estate in Williamson County, here are 3 reasons you need to add CTX MLS to your toolbox. First, CTX MLS shares data through syndication with 78 primary sites and over 3,400 secondary sites. Sites that consumers are utilizing to buy property in Williamson County. When you enter your listings into CTX MLS first, you get to more websites and in front of more eyes faster. Second, CTX MLS has partners in 15 counties throughout Central Texas that represent large populaces of people moving to Williamson County. People who find their next home on CTX MLS sites. Many agents representing buyers moving into the area utilize CTX MLS as their sole or primary source for MLS service. So if you're not using CTX MLS in Williamson County, you are missing connections with realtors and consumers wanting to find all the properties available to them. Likewise, CTX MLS offers tremendous value for an affordable price, a subscription that can be paid annually, biannually, or even monthly. It's your choice. Rezo Platinum Certified CTX MLS, local MLS, global reach, affordable value. Learn more or subscribe today at wcrealtors.org.